not to implement anything related to helping people who have been harmed by opioid addictions. No, we're just going to fill this budget hole that's been caused by theocratic freaks who are stealing money to fund their rich religious friends. Here's a story out of Arizona, not quite the South, but pretty close, and it has a lot of, unfortunately, probably relevant stuff to the state of Alabama. Just a reminder, the state of Alabama passed a school choice act to privatize public schools, divert $100 million away from public schools in Alabama to private schools in Alabama for the benefit of families who are primarily already sending their children to private schools, for the benefit of families who primarily, the vast majority of them, make vastly above the median wage in Alabama. A huge transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. That's what school choice, quote unquote, is. And, you know, this movement has been going on. This movement to privatize public schools has been going across the country and has been in place for some time. At one point, it had a lot of like liberal backers. I think there's been less of that, but still has, you know, some concerning support among some Democratic politicians. But Arizona has been at the leading edge of the school voucher movement, and vouchers are now to blame for approximately 50% of Arizona's state budget hole. They are now trying to fill holes in their state budget with opioid settlement money. They had money. So what's happened is recently Arizona has a budget crisis, right? They have a hole, and 50% of that hole is coming from the diversion of public funds from public schools to private schools. 50% of that is coming from their school voucher program, and now they are trying to borrow money from the opioid settlement funds to cover this hole, just to generally cover this budget hole, not to, you know, implement any addiction services or anything related to helping people who have been harmed by opioid companies, who have been harmed by opioid addictions. No, we're just going to fill this budget hole that's been caused by right-wing and theocratic freaks who are stealing money from our public treasury to fund their rich religious friends' educations. It's absolutely, I mean, just criminal what's going on here. Josh Cowan, who has a guest on the program a while back, talking about school choice and vouchers and privatization and stuff like that. He's the one that pointed this out to me, and appreciate him for that. Folks should follow him on Twitter at Josh Cowan, MSU, Cowan spelled Cowen, MSU. And it's just really unfortunate because this doesn't have to happen.
Hey, 5 seconds, just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
I mean, it's really, and Alabama seems to be heading in that direction.
Yeah, it's like I cannot wait to see how bad Alabama's is going to get. We passed the Choose Act this year, which, basically gives families putting their kids in private schools a $7,000, I think, sort of like tax rebate. So we will be following in their steps, like probably pretty soon.
Yeah, and $100 million is the minimum.
Right.
That's
a very conservative estimate. Yeah.
Yes, because it's currently limited. The voucher program in the first year of implementation is limited to like people in poverty, and I'm not sure exactly how they define that, but it's limited by income in this first year, and they're going to expand it in the second year. And the plan is for it to be a universal program by year 5, meaning that anybody and everybody, if you are Alabama's only billionaire, the guy who owns Yellowwood, that guy, he is going to be able to get public money to send his kid to private school if he wants, and he's a billionaire. It's really amazing that is their goal, that their goal is this universal program for school choice, because They hate, these same people, the conservative and right-wing and anti-government folks, they hate universal programs in any other context. When we're talking about Social Security, there's always plans. That's always one of their things is they want to try to means test Social Security. They want to try to means test Social Security and try to chip away at who has access to it. They want to try to take it away from younger people as younger people age into Social Security. They want to cut the program. They want to give 20% across the board cuts. They want to do all this sorts of stuff and, to make programs not universal. And yet, when it comes to pilfering the public coffers, the public education coffers to fund, right-wing school projects, they're totally fine with it, and they want it to be universal, and everybody and their mother should be able to dip into the public funds to do this. It's absolutely ludicrous and totally betrays, kind of the lack of principles and actually, there is a principle there, and the principle is destruction of government and destruction of public good and individualism as an ideology, an anti-public, anti-collective kind of ethos, right?
Well, and I imagine like anti-intellectualism too, of like, let's keep the masses uneducated.
Right, yeah. We got to give all this money to Bubba's Bible School instead of, instead of Lee High School because, Bubba's Bible School isn't going to be teaching them anything crazy about, the civil rights movement or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. But yeah, we do live in a society and we should be funding our state accordingly. But that's not what they're doing. And that's their principle.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project. And you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.